You know that person, right? The one who seems to be at rock for absolutely everyone else, juggling a million things at once. And yet, no matter how heavy their own life gets, they just push through it, all on their own. And it makes you wonder, why won't they just ask for a hand? We tend to look at them and see this incredible strength, or maybe we just chalk it up to stubborn pride. But there's a much, much deeper story happening right under the surface. Because, you see, this isn't just about being tough. This whole pattern, being the very first person to jump in and help, but the absolute last to ask for it, is something psychology has a lot to say about. It's a really complex behavior that's often totally unconscious. So let's reframe this whole thing. If you're someone who gets this almost physical discomfort at the mere thought of saying, I need help, then this isn't about some kind of personality flaw. It's actually a strategy. So let's shift our perspective. The myth is that it's all about stubbornness or pride or just extreme strength. But the reality? Oh, the reality is so much more interesting. It's a survival strategy. It's rooted in a deep fear of being a burden and a powerful, almost primal need for control. This is a coping mechanism that was learned over time. And there's a term for this, hyper-independence. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a learned strategy your mind came up with to get through the world by relying only on yourself. You weren't born this way. It's a pattern that your past experiences literally wired into your brain. Okay, so how does that wiring actually get put in place? Let's dive into that. We're going to unpack 3 core psychological blueprints that really get to the why behind this intense drive to do everything yourself. All right, blueprint number 1 often starts really, really early in life. For a lot of people, this entire pattern begins with them being what some psychologists call an easy child. You know, a kid who is just incredibly sensitive to the emotional temperature of their home. Just think about how this works. Step 1, a kid senses stress in their environment. So step 2, they adapt. They become low demand, they don't make waves, they don't add to the pressure. Then comes step 3. Their brain starts to link their self-worth to being no trouble. And from there, it's a straight line to step 4, hyper-independence. You stop asking for help because asking feels like being a burden, the very thing you've trained yourself never to be. Now, this pattern doesn't always come from a stressful home. Sometimes the blueprint isn't so much about what's happening on the outside, but more about your internal operating system, specifically a powerful need for control. There's this concept in psychology called a strong internal locus of control. It's this core belief that your outcomes, both good and bad, are all on you. If something goes right, it's because you made it happen. If it goes wrong, well, that was your fault too. Now, this builds incredible self-trust, but it's got a huge side effect. It can make relying on anyone else feel fundamentally unsafe. And that's really the heart of it. For someone with this blueprint, asking for help isn't just awkward. It feels like a literal loss of control. Solving a problem on your own isn't just a preference. It's how you stay feeling safe. You need to be the one at the wheel. Okay, our third blueprint. This one often pops up with highly analytical, really intelligent people. And for them, it's not about the environment or even about control. It's about the immense pressure that comes from having incredibly high standards for themselves. Does any of this sound familiar? That little voice in your head that says, it has to be done perfectly. Or, if I need help, it just proves I'm incompetent. Or the classic, oh, it's just faster if I do it myself. In this mindset, needing help isn't a practical solution. Your brain reads it as a direct threat to your competence. Asking for help basically feels like admitting you've already failed. So when you put all these blueprints together, what's the big takeaway here? Well, if you see yourself in any of these patterns, maybe the most important thing you can do is start to redefine what strength really means to you. And let's be crystal clear about this. Your hyper-independence is not a flaw. It was a tool. It was a brilliant adaptation that helped you get through something, to survive or succeed. You are not broken. You are not difficult. You are just wired for an incredible amount of self-reliance, and for very good reasons. We tend to think of strength as how much one person can endure all by themselves. But maybe real strength was something different. Maybe real strength isn't just about how much you can carry. Maybe it's about feeling safe enough to set the load down once in a while and let someone else help. So, we'll leave you with a question to chew on. If this intense self-reliance has become a shield that you carry through life, what exactly are you protecting?